Hi, my best story ever takes place when I was about the same age as my current students in grade 7. I can't remember exactly when, but I was in middle school for sure. And it takes place in a time when skateboarding was really, really huge in school. All right, if you were a skateboarder, you were legit, you were cool, you were amazing, and you could have no other redeeming qualities, but man, if you could do an ollie, that meant you had high status. And I wanted to be a skateboarder as well because I thought it was the most amazing thing individual could accomplish. So what did I do? I went to my mother and I said to her, "Please, mom, buy me a skateboard." I begged her for days, and eventually I won. And my mom, being the nice person that she was, took bratty old Royan over to the skateboard shop, and the skateboard shop was so cool. Back then, it was very, very common to buy a skateboard based on your favorite skateboarder, whether it was Tony Hawk. In my case, I picked someone named Eric Nash, and it was completely at random. I just picked him because his skateboard was this bright electric blue color and had this very, very cool cartoon character design on it, sort of like a Western cowboy slash Mexican with a couple of guns and a cool hat. And I thought, man, that is a beautiful skateboard. I had no idea whether it was good quality or anything. I did know, however, that it was very expensive. So I bought the skateboard, a beautiful bright blue grip tape on one side and this gorgeous paint job of this cowboy on the other side. And I'll never forget bringing it to school under my arm, the shiny new skateboard, and all the boys coming up to me saying, "Oh, dude, look at that, oh my God." And I was feeling good with myself, very, very good. And there was only one problem. I didn't know how to ride a skateboard. So I didn't even think about this. I had no idea why. I just thought, just gotta get the skateboard. I think I had some brain problem in thinking that if you bought a skateboard, that suddenly you just knew how to ride it. And I'll never forget getting on the skateboard and immediately flying off it with the skateboard going up and me landing on my butt. And it was painful, and I thought, whoa, this is what riding a skateboard is like? And I had no idea it was this difficult. I tried it a few times, got on it, pushed, got on it, fell again, scraped my elbow, scraped my knee. And I wasn't what you'd call the toughest, physically toughest individual at that age. You could even call me a wimp. I wasn't the type of person who, oh, I got a scratched elbow, no problem, keep going. I was like, okay, I was that type of person. So I had a problem now. I had a beautiful new skateboard, didn't know how to ride it. But I won't lie to you, I still went around carrying it like, ha, I'm a skateboarder walking around, looking cool. I also didn't know that, after a while, if you're walking around with a shiny new skateboard, there's something wrong. Because real skateboards are really rough and almost broken looking because they actually ride it. And they actually grind it on concrete all the time. So after a while, it became one of those things where it ended up in the corner of my bedroom, right? Like a lot of us, we think we're going to start something and then we never persevere through it. So that was that. I pretty much forgot about it until one day my friend came over and he was like, "Whoa, what's that?" And I said, "Oh, that's my skateboard." And he said, "Let's go skateboarding. Come on," because he was skateboarding. I was like, "Oh man, really?" So I was like, all right. So I got my skateboard and we got on and we went out. Unfortunately, I still didn't know how to ride, and this guy was just like, gets out, looks relaxed, jumps on the thing, just starts flying, jumping over curbs. And so I made up some story. Like I was sick or something, I couldn't do it, so I gotta go. So that was that, and I think he was starting to get suspicious. So after that, I felt really bad, so I thought, I have to get back on that skateboard and start practicing again. And that's what I did. The next day, I got back on the skateboard and started practicing by myself. And I thought, this was the day I was going to do it. So I started riding. And at this time, I was living on a street called Greenbelt. And I was riding down Greenbelt, and it connected up to, unbeknownst to me, a really steep downhill. And being a semi-intelligent person that I was, I actually thought that would be a good idea, going downhill, because it meant I wouldn't have to push. So end up at the end of Greenbelt, and now we got the steep hill coming, so I go, all right, that's good. But as soon as I reached the end, the top of the hill, I immediately had that thought and feeling in my gut that said, uh-oh, big problem, you made a huge mistake. But it was too late. Like a roller coaster, I was at the top, and I was about to go down. So suddenly, out of nowhere, I end up generating a huge amount of speed because I'm going downhill, and I'm terrified. I honestly felt like I was going to die that day. But then after a while, I just realized, wait a minute, hey, I'm still on this thing. So I'm going down, and now I'm very pleased with myself because, wait a minute, I'm doing this. No problem, I'm a skateboarder now. Time just sits still. I can't tell if it's fast or slow or what time it is. It just sits still. And suddenly you could feel a smile going on my face. And I could start thinking about things like, oh, I can't wait to go tell the guys about how I went down this hill and all that kind of stuff. Until the rock. If you've ever ridden a skateboard or rollerbladed or anything like that, you'll know that the tiniest of rocks can sabotage all your plans. And that's what I must have hit. Because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, from going straight and really fast, all I heard was and then suddenly my skateboard's over there, stuck behind some kind of the rock, and I'm doing this. And that's when it felt like real slow motion. You heard that sound like flying through the air. And then right? And I got up from that. I couldn't even really feel anything because the impact was so hard. But I could see my entire body was just ripped up. My jeans were all ripped up. My shirt was all ripped up, including my chest and my stomach. It was all just kind of, it looked like Wolverine had scratched me up. And I just kind of went like this, and I discovered there was blood all over everywhere. And I just scraped my entire body, basically. And I never got on that skateboard again. I actually ended up giving it away. And that's when I learned that you should never try to be something that you're not. And that's my best story ever.